Hi, my name is Faith Hagenhofer, and I am the cover artist for Arts Walk in Olympia, Fall 2019. When I first started making art, is one of those things that's very hard to pinpoint. I sort of feel like I've been making art my whole life, different forms and different formats. My daughter was an infant when I took my first felt making class, so I've been making felt for 28 years. And when you work with a medium for a long time, you stretch the parameters, you figure out what it means. It's a textile, it's fabric, it's fiber, it comes from sheep, it comes from a place. As a person, I like things from scratch. That's probably why felt making appealed to me. I dye everything here at my own farm. I have a dye garden. I harvest things, I forage, I pick and decide what's what. I forage at the grocery store in the onion bin and get the skins. So the piece that's the cover art has madder that I grew, has elderberries that are from my garden. In many other pieces, it's just onion or walnut or cascara berries, which make a beautiful blue. There, I gave it away. Or whatever comes from the greens. And I'm not a great record keeper, so sometimes I dye stuff and then I go, oh, that's great. What did I do? Well, okay. Now I have this material and I use it and it's fine, and I'll get another color next time and it'll be the color that it'll be. Yeah. So I have a small flock of Gotland sheep, between 9 and 17 sheep, depending on where we are in the cycle. Gotland wool felts really, really well. Felting is simple. It's moisture, pressure, and agitation. Boom, you have felt. So if you threw your very nice sweater in the washing machine, moisture, pressure, agitation, it would shrink. All that airspace would get taken up as the fibers entangle. That's felt making. I'm interested in the way in which wool felts as it grabs other materials these days. So where I went to was laminate felt. Many people call this Nuno, N-U-N-O, Nuno felt. It's laminate because the fibers make their way through fabric and then they hold on, and you're not going to separate those things. What that also does is it shrinks the fabric. So in the piece that's the cover art, it's the fiber that's in there serves a stuffing purpose, serves an expansive purpose. In a number of the other pieces, the wool that's in there does this shrinking piece, which I think it's very cool what it does to the fabrics. Silk is the easiest, but that doesn't mean I don't use cottons where I want to. A thin cotton, it just holds it in a different way. I like to sketch within the medium. So sometimes I have laid something out and then I take a photograph of it and then I draw on the photograph and then I go back to the piece because I don't want to wreck it. I don't want to oh, that went too far. And so that's sometimes a piece of finishing too, is I think, oh, this is finished. Is this finished? Would it be better if I added another line? Would it be better with another piece of something added to it? Sometimes hanging it up and looking at it is this kind of thing, where you go, oh, that's what it looks like. Like you try to surprise yourself. It's really ridiculous. I did my first show for Arts Walk in, I think it was 93 or 94. I've shown many, many times since then. I've really enjoyed it, and I think it's a great venue. I really appreciate it because I don't live in Olympia. I live out in Thurston County, and yet I can be a part of what the city does, which is, thank you. That's really wonderful. That's wonderful for me as an artist to have a venue and still live where I live. When I heard that I would be the cover artist for Fall 2019, I probably jumped up and down. I feel super honored. I was so glad. Yeah, it's a gift, and you know, I wanted to do my best work for it, and yeah, I felt very, very honored. This is the piece that's on the cover for Art Walk. It's called Held Dear. In my thinking, and with a lot of the work that's in this whole show, I'm working with loss, the vulnerability of children, particularly children that are on the move, are migrating, are stopped at the US border, are not treated like children, are not respected as children or people really. So that's where the piece comes from, this particular piece, in other pieces, in and among other pieces that deal with migration. So a little something about the dyes themselves, madder, logwood, and elderberry. In elderberry, what you want to use are the berries. And in using the berries, you want to use heat, but not too much heat. Too much heat will turn it brown. So on the cotton flannel, which is the orangey part, comes from madder, Rubia tinctorum, and it's the roots. The roots of a madder plant, you have to grow for about 5 years. They need to be about as thick as at least your pinky, if not a little thicker, and then dried and cut and pulverized and soaked, and again, never get to boiling. Get to about 180 degrees to release that red color. And the logwood is a heartwood from a Brazilian tree. So different parts of plants yield different dye colors, and it's not exactly trial and error. People have been doing this for a long time. So before the 1850s, everything was dyed with natural dyes. So when we talk about the red coats, Rubia tinctorum, that was the dye that was used. Made it super, super, super red. If you ever look at any kind of textile from before the 1850s, all of the color in there, all of it comes from plants. I will be showing my work for Arts Walk at Art House Design. You can come see me the Friday night, which is October 4th, and I think the work is up for the entire month. So if we miss each other, come on in another time.